Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to answer a question that I get a lot in my videos. What do you use to fertilize your brassicas and your onions? And I thought I would show you. Let's go. To answer that question, what do I use to fertilize my plants? It's a three-part answer, kind of, sort of. If I'm just giving them a general quick feeding, then I will use a liquid fertilizer. And as many of you know, I'm affiliated with a product called AgroThrive. I prefer this over fish emulsion, although I do use fish emulsion occasionally when I run low on my supply of AgroThrive. And I mix up a half a cup or cup in a 5-gallon bucket. And I just water it with my watering can onto my plants. Now, that will give them a quick pop, a quick boost of nutrients. If I'm going to feed them for the long haul, when I first start my plants and plant them just like anybody else probably, I put compost into my beds, and I also put about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of both bone meal and blood meal. And I make sure that that's mixed into the soil very well. On a sidebar, failure to mix it very well will lead to ants getting into your bed, and they will make themselves at home and feed off of the bone meal or blood meal. I know because it happened to me. But getting back on track, after I mix both of those fertilizers in, I also put in a cup of a general all-purpose fertilizer. This is True Organic, and it's 456. And I mix that in, and then I go ahead and add my plants. Now, in the process of adding the plants into the hole, I will again add bone meal, blood meal, and fertilizer, a handful of each, into the hole, mix it around, and put the plant into the hole. Once the plant is established and has been growing for a while, like now, I will go ahead and along the side of each plant or each row of plants, dig a furrow or a row, and I will add, again, either some of the general purpose fertilizer, or if we're fertilizing plants like mustards, collards, brassicas that are heavy feeders. You've heard me use that term before. Any plant that is not a root plant and is a heavy feeder, then I will go ahead and use, and here I have something called Nature Safe, and it is 1300. It is pure nitrogen, and that will break down over the long haul and provide a consistent supply of nutrients to the plants. If I'm feeding my onions or garlic, it's the same process. However, when I get ready to feed them for the long haul, we will put in Dixondale Farms 10-20-10. And we will continue to do that until the onions start to bulb and the garlic starts to bulb. Once they start doing that, I stop feeding them. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to show you what I do for my brassicas, feeding them with a organic fertilizer. Okay, what we're going to do first is push back the mulch or push it to the side. Then I'm going to take my little tool and along the side of the plant, dig a row. And the row may be a couple inches deep, maybe longer. I'm sorry, maybe deeper. Then we're going to take the Nature Safe, and I'll put a picture up on the screen of what it looks like. And we just shake it into the row that we just made. After we have done that, we cover the row back up. And then replace the mulch that we moved to the side. And it's just that simple. And we do that for each row of plants that we have. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of the plants in this bed, and then I'll show you how I do the onions and garlic. This is my onion and garlic bed. We have Creole onions on this side, garlic in the middle, and white onions on the far side. And just like we did in the other bed, what we do is try not to disturb the roots of the plants. And all I'm going to do is take my little tool and gently between the plants, the two rows that I have here, put in a row. Maybe easier just to use my finger. And again, we want it to be at least an inch to 2 inches deep. Then we're going to take the Dixondale onion formula, grab a handful of it, and go down the row in it. Then we're going to cover the row back up, or fill in the row. And then I'm going to come back through and add a little bit more mulch on top of this. And that's how we feed the onions. The garlic, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to move some of the mulch out of the way. And then handful of fertilizer. And then we fill in the row. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll put the mulch on. So off camera, I went ahead and fed all of the plants that I currently have growing in the raised beds. So I'm going to turn you around to show you them. This is the onion bed, and like I said, we use the Dixondale 10-20-10 fertilizer. We put it in rows and covered it back up. I added more more mulch on top of it. And we did the same thing in this bed, except primarily we have heavy feeders in here. So I added for my collards and mustards, I added the Nature Safe 13000. And for my broccoli and cauliflower, I added the same thing, 13000. And the Nature Safe 13000 is kind of difficult to locate. I've had the bag that I'm using for the past 4 years. It comes in a 40 to 50 pound bag. So it will be a minute before I actually run out of it. And I don't know if I'll be able to get it again. I ordered it from a location called Seven Springs Supply. I believe that's the name of it. You can Google it online. It is kind of pricey, which is why I don't think I'll be buying it again, but I want to get something similar that has a high nitrogen content. So when I'm feeding plants that require a lot of nitrogens and plants that we primarily eat the leaves off of, collards, mustards, cabbages, stuff like that. I like using that type of fertilizer. Here we have the mustards. We have some cauliflower. We also have some Brussels sprouts as well. I haven't seen too many signs of pest pressure yet. I'm keeping an eye out for that. The reason I mention it is because it's supposed to be the cool season here in northern Florida, but for the past week and a half or more, it's been in the 80s, close to 90s at night, in the 70s. So we're kind of having a heat wave, and that has been requiring me to water my plants a lot more to make sure that they stay hydrated and don't dry out. Here in my lettuce bed, I've already lost one, or looks like I've lost one lettuce here, and I may lose another one, and I'm thinking that's primarily due to the heat. Here we have two different types of radishes. I have to come out and thin them, and along the same thing here in this row, we have two types of, these rows here rather, we have two types of turnips, purple and white, and I have to come out and thin them as well. So I hope I was able to answer the question, what do you use and how do you feed your plants? It's an easy question to answer rather, but rather than answer, I wanted to show you, and I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I can grow a lot of the vegetables by myself, but I cannot grow the channel without your help. So think about joining my channel or subscribing to my channel. If you do, don't forget to hit the like button and the notification bell all, so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. If you're interested in the AgroThrive that I use, you can click in my comment section of the video and click on my website and go there and click on the link, and you can get yourself some. I believe they're still shipping out free samples. You just have to pay for shipping and handling, and that's, I want to say, like $4.99 or something like that. As far as the True Organic and the Dixondale, True Organic, you can get off of Amazon, and Dixondale, you can go to their website. And as I mentioned, as far as Nature Safe 1300, they have a website as well. You can go there and look at it. But as I mentioned before, I'm not sure if I'm going to order that again. So until next time, always remember to give the thanks to God, for without him, we are nothing. Stay blessed, stay strong, and grow, grow, grow. See you in the next one.